Hello, Artful Manifestors. Thank you for joining me today for this timeless Pick a Card Channel Tarot reading. Whenever you come across this reading is when you're meant to hear it, and I always align my intentions for your highest and best good. To choose your reading, you're going to choose from one of these cards I'm about to reveal and or one of these crystals I'm going to introduce. All right, let's see what we have. For reading number one, we have yellow calcite, and for reading number two, we have a cluster of quartz points, and for reading number three, we have kunzite. All right, let's see what the cards look like. For reading number one, this is what the image looks like. And for reading number two, this is what the image looks like. And for reading number three, this is what the image looks like. Let your intuition, your inner wisdom be your guide. Whichever crystal or image you're most drawn to is most likely the reading meant for you. Of course, if you're drawn to two or even all three of the readings, there may be additional messages for you there. Enjoy your reading. Hello, reading number one. You chose yellow calcite, which resonates with the solar plexus chakra. It dissolves feelings of unworthiness or fear of visibility, reminding you that your light is not a threat but a gift. It encourages decisive action, courage, and trust in your intuition. It also amplifies and purifies subtle energy. It clears remnants of past emotional patterns and fatigue, infusing your aura with vitality. It carries the frequency of the sun, encouraging warmth and hopefulness, if that's a word. It can lift the emotional body out of heaviness or apathy, helping you rediscover enthusiasm and play. It bridges the lower chakras with the higher frequencies of the crown and soul star. It helps ground spiritual illumination into your daily life, integrating it so that it doesn't escape the body, but inhabits your vessel. And because it stirs the life force, it's often used in rituals or grids for abundance and new beginnings. It aligns intention with spirit, inspired action. And the image that you chose, the card that you chose, is Nyata. This is associated with broom, sometimes reed, and it, just depending on the region. It's about transformation through cleansing, so it aligns perfectly with the yellow calcite. There's something that you're purifying, dissolving, letting go of, cleansing. This is preparation, making space for something new. It's a spiritual house cleaning, perhaps your physical house or the house of your soul, your vessel. All right, let's get some cards and see what else we can find out. It's sort of like, what my guides are showing me is if you're a creative person and you have a workspace, you know how quickly it gets cluttered. And so when you're ready to start a new project, you clear away all of those tools and supplies because maybe the paints you had weren't exactly the right color, or maybe the tools you had weren't exactly the right tools for this next project. So that's what's going on right now is you're clearing your space to get ready for the new. So let's find out more about what this is that you're clearing and what new is being added and what's going to be born out of that, what the becoming is. All right, we have the Four of Athame. There we go. The Knight of Wands. And the Earth Mother. All right. All right. So again, our first question is, what's being swept away or cleared away or dissolved? And you got the Four of Athame, which we see someone here resting beneath a tree. And this is a sacred pause. Something within you like either a cycle of constant doing or overextended focus or a mental burden. What my guides are showing me is your workspace was filled with have-tos, things that you had to do maybe out of obligation or service for others. And you did it, but it's run its course and it began to become burdensome, draining. You may have felt tired, a fatigue from this. It wasn't exciting. It was an obligation and have to, a supposed to. And so these are thoughts, responsibilities that dulled your inner light, your natural brightness. And your mind may have been guarding what it longed to dream. But now, with nattal and yellow citrine, that is being swept away. This is the clearing of the energetic clutter in your life. It's like you're waking up from a deep rest. And you're also releasing the belief that progress only happens through effort or through struggle or hard work. Yeah, this is, again, it's any stagnation in your life is being swept out. Any overthinking, any fatigue, any feelings of obligation or burden is being burned away. It's dissolving, being swept away. Also, if you were recovering from something, it's almost like when somebody's ill or has an injury and they're not able to do what they want to do. So it's like there's some situation that you had to do, but now it's being finished. That energy's leaving and it's making space for the Knight of Wands. This is the new energy being added to the mix. Creative fire, courage, momentum. So now you've cleared away this heaviness, this old energy, this energy that run its course. And it's now the universe is pouring in pure vitality. So this is an inspired purpose, something you're excited about. But notice how this writer they're making progress. They're taking this new path, but it's steady progress. It's not impulsive or reckless. This is focused passion, the kind of energy that endures, the kind of energy that comes after a rest or a pause, right? Your inner flame is reigniting. Your fire returns to illuminate your path. Look at the sun illuminating this path. This is a stirring of, like if we were adding ingredients to the cauldron of your spirit, of your soul, we would be adding motivation and confidence and bold movement and inspiration that helps excite you, excite your soul. So projects that may have once felt distant, now they feel like they're within reach. You can see the horizon. You can see your destination. You may find yourself having conversations that are exciting, that give you little nuggets of information that are also being added to the pot, to the preparing, the cooking of whatever this is that you're creating. You might collaborate with others on ideas, just small little things. You're beginning these creative ventures. This is a shimmer of possibility. This is the citrine moment for you, sunlight turning into action. It's inspiration becoming ignition. And citrine amplifies the knight's fearless heart. It's fearless because you have so much belief, confidence, and passion in this new project or creative endeavor or inspiration that you have. And it's like the broom that swept away this energy of stagnation or obligation is now fanning the flame of inspiration and passion. So even the tools are being used in a new way. And the Earth Mother is what is being born, what you are becoming, which is the embodiment of creative abundance. Not just doing, but being the source from which new life is born. Look at this. So everything that was cleared away is now fertile soil. That's you cleared away energy, but you didn't clear away your knowledge, your wisdom, and your tools. You're now using them in a new way, a way that's exciting and creative. The spark, this wand, this creativity, this inspiration that the night has found, it's making a home within you. And now this steady, nurturing flame gives warmth and sustenance to others. This card marks a rebirth of your divine feminine essence. Doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. It's that creativity, that receptivity, the generosity and sovereignty. You're not striving to manifest. You are magnetizing through your natural rhythm and grounded beauty. Right? She's not trying to give birth to something or to become fertile. She's already full of life. Every breath, every act of care, every creative endeavor now becomes an offering of life force, energy back to the world. And it's interesting because we see ducks here, right? And we see a duck here. And here the duck is swimming past you. It's like out of reach, right? That perceived luck or timing or blessing, it's like just out of your grasp. It's there, you can hear it, but you can't get it right now. And here now, it's coming to you. So there's an element of divine timing as well, where synchronicities are going to line up for you because you have released this stagnant energy. Your own energy is now in alignment with what you desire and your highest purpose, your highest best good. It's like all the chakras are in alignment and everything's vibing. You know, you've had those days. It's just like everything just works out. You just meet the right person at the right time. You just hear that right nugget of information when you need to. You just come across the resources right when you need them. Everything just works out. Love it. Wow. Reading number 1, so excited for you. This is really quite magical and inspiring. Please let me know if this resonates, if you feel like you're coming out of stagnation or recovery or rest, a sacred pause. And if you see this creativity, this spark on the horizon, there's good things coming towards you. And I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, reading number 2. You chose this cluster of clear quartz. And if you came from reading number 1, let me know, because the figure in that reading looked like they were holding a large cluster of crystal, perhaps quartz, just like this. So interesting. A cluster of clear quartz points like this is not just a crystal. It's more like a choir of crystalline beings, each voice harmonizing with the others to create resonance, amplification, and divine clarity. So where a single point directs energy, kind of like a wand, a cluster radiates it in all directions, forming a field of coherence that harmonizes the space, the mind, and the subtle body. And clear quartz is known as the master healer. It clears all of the chakras, and a cluster of these magnifies that gift exponentially. Each point acts as an antenna, receiving and transmuting light. Together, they create a unified network that amplifies your intentions, your prayers, your thoughts, your affirmations, and healing frequencies. They're also cleansing, gentle cleansing energy. The cluster emits this constant cleansing, purifying, energetic field. So it's great to dispel discordant vibrations and help realign everything to its purest frequency. And again, my guides are showing me the first reading. So we haven't done this reading yet. I don't know exactly what it will foretell, but if you were drawn at all to reading number 1 and you haven't watched it yet, you may want to go back and watch it, because this is what the figure is holding. It's that type of energy, sweeping, but rather instead of a broom, through light. It's light sweeping away energy or clearing away energy. These are also receivers of divine frequency. They bridge the human mind with the cosmic mind, helping you hear and interpret subtle messages through symbols and intuitive nudges. And each point within the cluster grows in cooperation with the others. They're not competing, they're always harmonizing. So energetically, they model healthy interconnectedness, individuality within unity. And this makes them powerful allies for group work, healing circles. At a quantum level, clear quartz structures light, literally shaping possibility through coherence. It helps you refine your manifestations by clarifying what you truly desire and aligning your frequency with that vision. And the card that you chose, Eel, is connected to the yew tree. It's also connected to Samhain and winter. Or not Samhain, Samhain, or winter. It's connected to Akasha or spirit, that, or you might even say the quantum field, that energy that binds all the elements together. It marks both the beginning and ending. So it's the seed of beginning. The yew tree is an evergreen, ancient tree, often grows where others decay. Its roots interlace with its offspring. New trunks rise from old ones. It's the living metaphor for the cyclical nature of existence. And it stands at the veil between worlds, the passage of souls and memories. It was traditionally used to invoke ancestral communication or past life remembrance. Spiritual initiations were one phase of being must end for another to begin. Its rights, its energy can guide your soul safely through transformation. Like going into the underworld, but having a lantern to see your way and come back. It regenerates you regenerates from within its hollow trunk, symbolizing eternal life. So it often refers to resilience through change. And it has a long association with graveyards and ancient sanctuaries. The U, Y-E-W is what I'm saying, yew tree, is the memory keeper of the land. It holds ancestral codes, not only the bloodline, but of human experience and collective memory. Connects you to lineage wisdom, karmic healing, guidance from those who have walked before. And in magic, yew, Y-E-W, yew tree, is used for spiritual protection, especially through journey work. And it's the alchemist's end stage. That black phase where transformation ripens in darkness like a seed beneath soil. Again, I'm seeing somebody going into the underworld, some type of initiation, and then being reborn. It kind of, you know what this looks like, what it reminds me, if you've seen Lord of the Rings, when Gandalf falls off the ledge and his companions think that they've lost him forever, and he goes deep, right, and has this battle with this dark shadow, but then emerges not as Gandalf the Grey, but Gandalf the White, right? So I see this initiation for you where you're coming out on the other side wiser, more experienced, and more powerful. Let's find out more about this. All right, the moon. The Page of Chalices. And the She. Yeah, I feel like the pictures already describe the story so well. Yeah, look at all this water. And even in this image, she's pouring water into this brew. All right, so the first card, this is your initiation. You're entering the underworld of your own subconscious, where intuition, shadow, ancestral memory, all of that is woven together like roots beneath a winter soil. So you're really diving deep into seeing in the darkness, into your own shadows. This initiation is about trusting your inner senses when logic falters. And you're being initiated into the art of discernment through feeling. So you're learning what isn't in alignment with you. You're trusting your inner voice. You're distinguishing fear from intuition, illusion from insight, reflection from reality, because we see the moon here and the reflection of the moon here. So it's like there's something you couldn't see in the sunlight that you will now perceive by the glow of the inner moon. And it's interesting because the moon's path always passes through Iwa's grove, the ancient yew standing sentinel at the entrance. Think of these as being those yew trees. So again, this marks the initiation of death and rebirth, shedding outdated identities. This is the willingness to let the old way of perceiving die so that true sight can emerge. It's like when you have a truly spiritual, mystical experience or adventure that totally changes the way you see yourself and the world. And, it's like this clear quartz cluster is acting as a crystalline lantern in this initiation. So many points of consciousness guiding you through the underworld. Yeah, it's a really an expansive way of seeing things. You're coming out with this broader view after going into this underworld experience. And the page of chalices is what can accelerate this transformation, this initiation, this journey into the underworld. We see this child, which is like the inner child, pure of intention. So embodying that pure intention. And what they're showing me is, you see this cup that she's looking at. It's as if this whole big pond exists in this cup. So here it looks dark and scary. And now it's more like interesting and wondrous and curious. Like, So again, it's a completely different perspective. What you used to fear now interests you or brings about curiosity. You understand that it's teaching you something, and you're curious about that. You're not fearful. That's such a gift, being born out of this initiation. And this energy of innocence is restored, not naivety, but trusting in life's unseen benevolence. And your initiation quickens, it accelerates when you paint, when you play, when you sing, when you dance, when you express yourself freely with the innocence of that pure inner child. When emotion isn't analyzed, but it's expressed. Because we're talking about water, remember, and water must flow. That's your emotion. It must flow. And when you allow that flow, the initiation speeds up. It just flows down the river, and you emerge much more quickly with what you were meant to. So amazing. And the she is the positive outcome and higher purpose of this initiation. These are the ancestral ones who dwelled in the mounds, the she, the shining ones, the otherworld beings who guide equilibrium between the realms. So it's like being able to walk in both. And it's blending opposites into harmony. So from the depths of the moon's mystery and the heart's awakening of the page of chalices, you're now rising into the radiant middle world where all is integrated, right? Middle Earth, since we've got Gandalf here. He's not really Gandalf, but it's what they show me. It's teaching you to walk between worlds as a weaver, not a wanderer, but a weaver. You're weaving intuition and intellect, surrender and action. It's like if you're going down the river, you can try to swim upriver. You can go down the river and put your oars in your boat and not steer at all. Or you can go down the river with your paddles, your oars, and use that momentum and guide yourself at the same time. And that's what you're doing now. That's what you're becoming. That person who knows how to navigate the energies around you in a way that accelerates you towards alignment, towards manifesting your desires. So you've passed through the dark route, and now you're growing upward again. It's like in the winter when things kind of go dormant, but the roots are going deeper, right? So it's like your winter, your Samhain is you going deeper into your subconscious, getting to the root of these illusions, these beliefs that aren't real. And your light is this page of chalices, bringing you back through your trust in your inner wisdom, in your intuition. And then you're blending it all together, creating something new. You're becoming something new. You have this whole new higher purpose and mastery through harmony. You're learning to channel divine energy through your human form with balance. You're not escaping, you're not clinging, but you're flowing. And this makes you someone whose presence alone can help restore equilibrium to others. blending emotion and wisdom, honoring endings while birthing beginnings, merging the earthly with the ethereal. Wow. Reading number 2, so excited for you. This feels very magical, and you have 2 major arcana cards out of your 3. So this is a huge transformation, a huge leap forward, glow up, level up. And though it comes through as a spiritual initiation in spiritual work, there are elements of mental and emotional ingredients in this mixture. And once you've gone through this and mix it together, it's going to enhance and align your energy in all areas of your life. It ripples out. Wow. Reading number 2, please let me know if this resonates. Super excited for you. I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, reading number 3. You chose Kunzite, which opens the heart gently, allowing long-held grief, self-protection, or emotional constriction to dissolve in waves of compassion. It soothes wounds from betrayal, abandonment, or heartbreak by reconnecting you to divine and self-love, reminding you that your heart is eternal and safe to open again. Kunzite carries a frequency often described as angelic resonance. It attracts guidance of beings of light, particularly those aligned with healing, comfort, and ascension of the heart. Kunzite protects by raising your frequency. It teaches that nothing of lower vibration can attach to a field of unconditional love. And Kunzite is rich in lithium. It assists with emotional regulation and spiritual calm. At its highest octave, Kunzite facilitates the descent of divine connection, divine consciousness into the heart, the point where enlightenment becomes embodied compassion. The card that you chose, Gort, is associated with ivy, the element of water with touches of earth. It's the season from Samhain to Yule, when green vines still cling to the world as others fade. It reminds us that independence and interdependence are not opposites, but partners. Ivy is evergreen, holding fast even in frost. So Gort is a symbol of resilience and endurance. Magically, Gort strengthens persistence, faith, and steady devotion to your path or calling. In ancient Celtic rituals, ivy was used to weave wreaths for weddings and rites of friendship representing loyalty, fidelity, and eternal bonds. In spellcraft, it combined intentions or partnerships and trust and mutual support. Ivy's spiraling pattern mirrors the spiral of consciousness, the way spiritual growth winds around experience, drawing closer to the divine center each time. And ivy was often planted near thresholds, wells, stone circles. It wards against spiritual depletion, sealing sacred energy within. And it reminds us to form healthy energetic bonds, not isolation, not over merging. It harmonizes relationships so love can nourish rather than drain. All right, let's get some cards and find out more about what's being healed. Oh, okay. I think a lot is being healed. All those cards popping out. We'll put them back and get just 3. All right, Knight of Wands. All right, 2 came out. We'll take these. We have the Wheel of the Year and the 9 of Wands. All right, we begin with the Knight of Wands. The wound is of overdrive and restless fire. The wound being healed at this time is the wound of overextension, that part of you that equated worth with motion, passion with pressure, inspiration with immediacy, impulsivity born of protection and survival. So the Knight's fire once burned bright but fast, often leaping before listening. It's the wound of self-sacrifice in the name of purpose, of chasing meaning so fervently that joy becomes fuel rather than nourishment. So you're being healed of the pattern of acting from adrenaline instead of alignment, of saying yes before your heart has time to answer its truth. The spirit of this night is brave and visionary, but has long carried the burn of trying to prove rather than simply radiating light. And with Kunzite poured into your armor, its frequency cools the fever of over-striving and teaches the alchemy of gentleness, that love accomplishes more than intensity ever could. It soothes your nervous system that once vibrated with constant readiness to jump into action and replacing reaction with presence. It's the fire of night still remains, but now it's guided through the soft lens of compassion and Quartz steady growth. The result is sustainable energy, sustainable passion, inspiration that nourishes rather than drains. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, but you're healing the sacred masculine within. Action being reborn as devotion, leadership being reborn as love in motion. The second card, the Wheel of the Year, is what supports and accelerates this healing of this wound. And here we have divine timing, surrender, rhythmic renewal. Your heart is learning that healing has its own seasons. The wheel turns through sowing, tending, harvesting, and resting, and each stage has its medicine. So this card supports your healing by reminding you that your fire, the night's passion, doesn't need to burn continuously. It's meant to wax and wane like the moon, flow and rest, ebb and flow like the tides. The lesson that accelerates your recovery is trusting the turn. When the wheel spins, you are lifted and lowered in rhythm with nature, no longer pushing against the current, but moving with it. And with Kunzite, it keeps your heart open through each phase so that you accept each phase and recognize each phase with peace. It's infusing all your transitions from season to season with peace, rather than resistance into the inevitable turn of the wheel or seasons. So together with Kunzite and Gort, the wheel form a triad of heart-centered evolution. They invite you to let healing be cyclical, not a straight path, but a spiral that takes you higher in vibration and awareness with each turn. A higher octave of peace, deeper compassion, fuller embodiment. So you're supported most when you honor your natural rhythms. These can be daily rhythms, monthly, annually, seasons. In work, in creativity, in rest, in love. It's like the faster you stop rushing the process, the faster the process unfolds. And where this is all leading, the positive outcome and higher purpose of this healing is the Nine of Wands, the guardian of the heart fire. The healing journey that began with the Knight of Wands, that restless flame, and passed through the wheel's rhythm of renewal, now settles into wise mastery. You haven't lost your fire, you've refined it. The Nine of Wands reveals you standing calm at the threshold of new creation. Your energy is balanced, your faith intact, your boundaries alive, but compassionate. There's a real power and confidence in you, even if it's a quiet confidence that's not defending yourself. This is not the guarded exhaustion of the wounded warrior. It's the graceful vigilance of one who knows their worth and protects their peace. You've learned that endurance doesn't mean resistance. It's rooted presence instead. You can hold your light without burning. You can stay open without breaking. Your empathy now flows wisely. You sense where to give, where to rest, and where to say no without guilt with Kunzite's shield of love, that frequency that protects by shining so purely that discord cannot attach. And again, your crown chakra is opening, reminding you that your personal resilience is an extension of divine resilience, the infinite patience of the universe moving through you. You're allowing yourself to follow your own timing and divine timing. And intertwined with this is Gort, with its lessons of steadfast growth. You've discovered how to thrive even through hardship, not despite of it, but because of it. Gort teaches you adaptability without losing essence. You can bend like the ivy, but you do not break. Your strength is now living. It's the flexible endurance of nature. And Gort anchors the heart energy of Kunzite into lasting form, ensuring that your compassion doesn't waver when tested. This is true resilience and mastery. So the higher purpose of this healing is embodied resilience. You're becoming the heart warrior instead of the wounded warrior, the one who walks forward even after many battles and still believes in goodness. This is the fusion of soft and strong, a healed relationship between passion and peace, action and rest. You're now a keeper of sacred momentum, moving only when aligned and pausing when needed, and holding space for others to do the same. This is the mature fire of spirit, sustainable, luminous, and wise. You've become the guardian of heart fire, a being whose passion is steady, whose boundaries are kind, and whose love endures all seasons. So beautiful. Reading number 3. This is such a gentle yet powerful energy. So wise. I'm just getting so much wisdom from this reading. I hope this resonates. Please let me know if it does. I love to read your comments, and I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye.